Hello everyone and welcome to another in my Armored Core Verdict Day build videos. This time we're going to look at something that is definitely not your usual type of build. It's a bit off meta, to say the least. I'll definitely tell you that much. And so this build is designed to basically be as much of a dick in free battles as absolutely possible. And so what it is that first off, it's my Pizzabot. You see my ghetto ass Domino's logo over on the side. Now, Pizzabot is designed with basically one thing and one thing only in mind. You get these big automatic missile arms, your pizza boxes. You run around, you deliver your pizza to people, and then you run the fuck away. That's what you do. And so I designed this with the idea of having the fastest possible AC that can use those heavy missile arms. And it kind of works. Weirdly enough. It's a very strange AC, definitely, and something that has pissed off many people in free battles. This is definitely not something you would normally want to use in Conquest, although it does work in Conquest mode, or World mode, the 4v4 mode. In 1v1 or in Battle Royales, this thing is an absolute blast. Because you just fucking run away all day. And this is also the only time that I am okay with using the perma boost, because it's intended for trolley purposes. Also, in addition to having the missile arms, I also have some laser blades. And laser blades are just there in case I run out of missiles somehow, or if I just want to cut some pizza. Because that's what we do. I wanted to fit the Narukami blades on here because they look like pizza cutters, but they're way too heavy. There's no way I'd be able to fit those on this leg. I mean, yeah, not that I know of. So then, onto the build. So we went for this Umage head, also known as the Beowulf head. It's one of the fastest heads in the game. In fact, I think it is the fastest head in the game. It has fairly high energy drain, but low weight, low defense. Or it has low defense and high energy drain, but low weight, good speed, good camera, good stability, mediocre scanning. In fact, pretty terrible scanning actually. Alright, now for the core. Core pretty much is anything that fits. I went for this one because I don't know, I felt like it kind of fit the style a little better. I could easily have gone for this, but this one has 90 recons, and when you're running away from a lot, it's very easy to go through a lot of recons very quickly. So that's why I went for that. These missile arms, obviously they're the only AS missile arms in the game, so I'm using them. They have really poor defense, decent AP, good damage per individual missile especially for automatic missiles. They fire a lot of missiles at once, and they're pretty accurate. So they're actually pretty dangerous weapons. Now for the legs, I chose these legs purely because they are trolley and super fast. If you use these legs normally on a regular AC like a sniper or something like that, you are a bastard. Although you are also intelligent. And main reason to go for these legs is that they give you stupid high boost numbers. Because as you can see, I'm reaching almost 400 high boost, right? With an acceleration type booster. A fairly strong acceleration type booster, but 400 high boost. Alright. FCS doesn't matter since none of the weapons on this IC use the FCS, so I just went for the lightest possible FCS. Especially since drain is negated in scan mode, and you're going to spend a lot of time in scan mode with this thing. Generator, perma boost, booster, perma boost. Recon unit. The recon unit, I actually went for the one that has a better range and a shorter operational time. Yeah, I did, because since I have the lightweight cores anyway, those lightweight cores have a shit ton of extra recons. Now for the arms, I kind of went for laser blades just because they're like the only thing that'll fit. Because like even a single Narukami is way too heavy. Those things weigh a lot compared to other blades. Although I really wish I could fit it on there. It would fit so well with the rest of it. Just like, Pizzabot with pizza cutters. Shoulder units, you can't have shoulder units because this is a weapon arm AC. Ultimate weapons, can't have ultimate weapons because this is a weapon arm AC. Bay units, same thing. So, because everything is so focused around fitting those missile arms on those really super fast legs, this AC is very restricted, and there's not a lot you can do with it to alter the build. Outside of maybe swapping the core around a little bit, but even then, there's not a lot of wiggle room here. Like, you can totally go for a different core, but how many of them fit, and of the ones that do fit, are they even worth it? Because, like, no matter what core you go for, you're gonna have shit defense anyway. And that's the main issue. Because you have a combination of really poor defense legs, really poor defense arms, and a really poor defense head. So the core can't really compensate for the rest of the AC. So as such, the defenses of this thing are miserable, as you may have noticed. The turning performance is okay. The boost numbers are really good. The energy efficiency is really good. Recoil resistance is good enough that you won't be staggered by shotguns too often, and the AP is okay. So it's a pretty overall like middling AC. I could go for the malicious core, which is actually one of my favorite cores, but again, it doesn't really offer that much of an advantage, and I don't know. I mean, it would definitely work though. This is the core that would definitely work. For heads, I mean, there's no point in any other head really. The whole point is to go for speed. Any other head, I mean, you could go for like maybe one of these to get like decent speed, but again, you're cutting down that speed. So no, this head actually increases the speed, but it weighs too much. So yeah, there's that. There's a lot of options, but not a lot of options that will work when you're building an AC this specialized. Booster and generator, you could go with other boosters and generators, but again, you're so restricted on weight here that trying to get decent speed while staying under that weight is kind of hard. Obviously recons, you can go whatever recons you want. Since I went with a 90 recon core, I could very easily go for a hover type recon. Although I'm not sure how much it would actually benefit me, so I usually just stick with the tracking types. Sticky types would also work, but because you're spending a lot of time moving around the map, I go with the tracking types, since you want to know what's immediately near you. So then, now that I've blabbed about the parts long enough, we can go into sort of like the AC test. So I can show you. Now I'm not even gonna use any targets, because the main thing about this AC is basically it could move super fast for an extended period of time. So even here, when I'm in a regular boost, I can just keep going, right? But the second I trigger scan mode, my energy starts refilling, right? So essentially, as long as I'm in scan mode, I can boost around as long as I choose, right? As long as I don't fuck up the glide boosting motion. Yeah, I don't think I can turn quite fast enough to get the... Yeah, I can't turn quite fast enough to get the... like the figure 8 type motion. I probably could, I just don't know how to do it. Alright, whatever. So basically, with this AC, all you do is you stay in scan mode, fly around, then eventually you pop out, fire a bunch of missiles. After your missiles have finished firing, you go back into scan mode and keep going. And so that's what your pizza delivery boy does. You just keep moving. And then if for some reason someone's shooting at you, all you gotta do is drop to the ground, and then take advantage of these legs. They're quite fast, and just do this. And suddenly you're way up in the air again. And being able to change elevation like that is really important for this AC, because changing elevation is one of the main ways to dodge. So if you change elevation a lot, then people are going to have a hard time keeping up with you in terms of their FCS. Alright? Also, because this AC is very stable, it also floats around a lot. So like up here, I'm way up in the air and I'm not dropping too quickly. So I can also... you have a lot of options for movement with this AC because it has so many... it's just so mobile. And that's why it's nice. So that's why I, designed this AC the way I did. Because, I wanted to deliver my pizza quickly. Can't be late. And obviously because it's a reverse wrench leg, since the jumps are very strong, wall jumping with this AC is extremely strong as well. So if I were to, let's say like get over here, land it all the way over here, right? Another thing is that you should also try to use wall jumps as much as possible because they're very energy efficient. Normally what I do is I just jump around and then I use high boosts to get 2 other walls to jump to. And so naturally here I can just fly around the map all day if I want to. And that's what it's built for. Unfortunately I couldn't quite get any PvP footage of this because I kind of got food poisoning. And I've been like half dead since yesterday. So when I would have recorded, I was kind of dying. I'm okay now though, I'm still slightly sick, but not as bad. Honestly though, I was debating even recording this because I was feeling that terrible. Like I could barely move. So then, the funny thing is that because you have so many missiles, even if you're fighting an AC that has a lot of defense and a lot of health, you can still kill them with these automatic missiles. So you control tanks with this too. You control tanks, you control lightweights, you control mids. Everyone gets trolled by the Pizza Boy. Because they don't pay no tips. Pay your fucking tips. And as long as you go into scan mode before you hit that 0, then you're good. And the nice thing is that you don't even have to be facing the person you're shooting at with these missiles to do damage. Alright? So you can just keep fucking moving around all day. Just, you know, play around. Have fun. Go nuts. Learn how to move. The only problem is that if someone's far away from you and they're somehow faster than you, or you just misfire the missiles, then the missiles have a fairly long reload time, and they also have a fairly limited range. But they do a lot of damage and they come in a big swarm. Sorry, I'm kind of getting wrecked, but this tank over here is taking a pretty good amount of damage too. And so it's basically just a matter of pulling in close to your enemies whenever you're ready to fire your missiles, and then getting the fuck out. Like I said, you gotta deliver your pizza, move on, deliver pizza to someone else. The only problem is that because this has a fairly high efficiency core, or highly efficient core, that the high boost isn't very strong, so you have to use a lot of high boost to cover distance. Why are the missiles not firing? Also, if you go into scan mode too early after hitting the button to fire missiles, then you will interrupt your own barrage and you have to wait for the reload again. There's a couple things to, be careful about. Yeah, you're just dancing. Just dance around all day. Troll everyone. The only problem is if someone has defenses, then killing them with these things can take a while, but, it's part of the troll. Additionally, human players are a lot more easily disoriented than AIs. AIs will always know exactly where you are. But, as you can see, I'm doing pretty decent damage to this thing. When I remember to actually get close enough to fire. It's really great when people are chasing you because they want to kill you, and then you can just keep running away, fire your missiles as they're behind you, and then keep going. So there. I think this is pretty much the last volley of my missiles right here. Alright, there we go, out of ammo. No more pizzas to deliver. Let's see. How much health does he have left? 1,000. So I was able to do about 40,000 damage to a tank with missiles that don't really do a lot of damage. Because I just fired like 600 missiles at him, And here, once you're out of pizza, you gotta use your pizza cutters. Provided you can hit with them. I'm a bit retarded when it comes to laser blades. I will freely admit that. There we go. But yeah, it's the fun of delivering pizza. It's delicious pizza. I said no. Have you ever had Domino's pizza? I really fucking love Domino's pizza. And what else can we do? I could. Do I have any good Unix for this? I don't think any of my Unix are actually weak to these things. So I might have to pull out the lightweight test AC, or light bipedal test AC. Excuse me? Yeah, none of them are really weak to it. Well, I could pull out like something like this. Yeah, fuck it, we'll go with one of the generic signs Unix, because it's a decent example. Lightweights will absolutely be terrified of your pizza. They're lactose intolerant. They can't handle the cheese. So since this AC is, I'm assuming, is a fairly lightweight AC with no CE defense. Yep.
System combat mode. System scan mode.
And the funny thing too is that even when you get players who know how to dodge missiles, there's so many fucking missiles being fired over here that a lot of people have a hard time dodging them just because there's just that many of them.
System combat.
Yeah, that thing actually had a CIWS in it. It couldn't do shit about these missiles. That was delicious. Delicious cheese. So yeah, as you can see, this AC is not exactly the most standard AC, but it's tons of fun, and you can fuck with people all fucking day. All day with this thing. And honestly, I wanted to color this thing so it looked like a person wearing like a uniform, but I couldn't quite get it right, as you may have guessed. I need to work on like recoloring a lot of my ACs and fixing emblems and stuff like that. It's pretty hard to get it to look right though. Also, I always loved the transformation animations on the weapon arms in this game. They looked fucking beautiful. Like, I know like there were weapon arms in the previous games, but they didn't transform. Like, this transformation though, like just look at that. Is that not beautiful? Is the pizza not delicious? Also, no, as you can see, we're not delivering full-size pizzas, we're delivering mini pizzas. That's why you need a lot of them. You can't feed the world without pizzas. I also one time I wanted to try and do this with a tank, have a pizza delivery tank, so it could be like, you know, the guy in his car, but I couldn't quite get it to work. So I decided instead that someday I will have the pizza boy stand on top of a tank, and we'll deliver pizza together as we ride on into the sunset. So then, this is a slightly short video because, you know, this is a concept AC. This AC has a very simple concept, and there's not a lot you can do with it. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you, you know, maybe you like cheese. If you like cheese, then this pizza boy is definitely for you. He likes his cheese. So then, have a good day. Play Armored Core. Enjoy your pizza, and blow the fuck out of everything.